Hello there, BookTube. My name is Daniel. Welcome back to my channel, Guilty Feet. I've got no rhythm. I'm talking quietly because it's late. It's late Thursday night, Friday morning, already it's after midnight. I've just come back from a wedding, but I thought I would still try to clear out this backlog of books that I read in the last quarter of 2023 and keep up with reviewing them. And today I'm going to look at The Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff. A little bit about my history with Ms. Groff. Her first book, the first book of hers that I read was Fates and Furies, which someone bought me. This is going back 7 or 8 years now. A subscription, annual subscription to the Book of the Month, which is still very popular, which is only in America. They won't deliver anywhere else, and they wouldn't even take my credit card from here. But someone in America bought me a thing, and I would get stuff delivered. And this was the book I chose, so I didn't know much about her, but this was an it book of the time. And I bought this and read this, and it's a book of two halves, if you know Fates and Furies. And the first half I found really frustrating. Was fed up with it and annoyed by it, and then the second half switches things in a way that fully redeems it and changes everything up. It's super interesting. Anyway, so I end up loving this book, and then I met Lauren Groff. She came to the International Writers Festival in Jerusalem in 2019. I met her and told her exactly what I thought, because that's what she signed her book for me, so that was very kind of her. And I said to her, this book had wrong-footed me in the most duplicitous way since Philip Roth's The Human Stain, which, if you know that book, you'll know there is also a twist, probably only about 60 pages in, which totally changes up everything you've understood about the novel and the protagonist until that point. And I think she quite liked that comparison, and she was very chatty, and I got a chance before her presentation. People were still filing in and standing chatting for about 5 minutes. She was absolutely charming, which is how I found her on social media. Follow her on Twitter, and certainly the promotion that she did around her latest book, The Vaster Wilds. She's absolutely charming in every way, and friendly and warm. I listened to a podcast where when she was doing the rounds for this book, there was a podcast where someone interviewed her about books. She's a furious reader. She loves books. She loves championing books. She loves talking about books, and she's really sort of one of our kind of people. So I feel very, very warmly towards her. After Fates and Furies, I read her last novel, which was Matrix, which was outstanding. One of my books of that year in 2021. I think I read this. Really loved Matrix. So I was excited from the announcement all year. I knew I was going to get to The Vaster Wilds. Probably buy it in hardback because she's become an author that I want to follow. I would say The Vaster Wilds is thematically linked to Matrix. I understand there's going to be a third book, which is also following female protagonists making their own way in the world and having to be self-reliant and stand up and grab agency for themselves and then exercise it. So thematically linked to Matrix, and there may be a third one coming, sort of also thematically linked. I would say this is also in conversation with, and I haven't yet reviewed, Letters to Send by Jesmyn Ward, a sort of similar progression of a woman out on her own in escaping vile circumstances and trying to understand her relationship to the world, to humanity, but also to nature. So that's in there. There is, I think, some conversation between these both new releases in the latter half of 2023, Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff and Letters to Send by Jesmyn Ward. I think of the two, I think this is. I think I preferred this one to Letters to Send for different reasons, but I think it's a lesser work than Matrix. This is in that difficult middle chapter, I guess, if you're going to call this and whatever comes next but a trilogy. But it's a fine bit of writing. I will keep reading Lauren Groff. I recommend it. I would probably start with Matrix, then maybe Fates and Furies, and before coming to The Vaster Wilds. But if you're looking for intelligent, political, feminist fiction, rather than sort of disguised non-fiction, or sort of politicized non-fiction disguised as fiction, this is fiction. This is a woman writing novels, but deeply political, deeply felt studies in womanhood and feminine agency. I don't even know if I'm saying these words correctly, but really challenging reading, accessible, and I think one of my favourite novelists. Now that I've read 3, she becomes one of my accidental authors. I've accidentally read 3 books by, but I think I'm going to keep reading Lauren Groff. I may go back and read. There's a little bit of backlist that I haven't got to, stuff that was before Fates and Furies. There was a book of short stories called Florida that came out, I think, between Fates and Furies and Matrix. But certainly, as she keeps publishing, I'm going to be sticking around because this was a fun book to look forward to. I got it, I read it. While it may not be my favourite of the Lauren Groff books that I've read, it was still a fine bit of popular modern fiction by a fiercely intelligent and entertaining and accessible author. So that's The Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff. Terrible gleam off that. Jolly good. Not my favourite Groff, but I would say mid-level Groff is as good as anything else that I'm reading these days. Hope you like that. If you read it and didn't enjoy it, let me know. I mean, there were a lot of anticipation before the book, but I don't think it showed up on many best of the year lists. But I would still recommend it, especially if you read and enjoyed other books by Ms. Groff. Look her up, watch interviews with her. She's just a delightful person either way. Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff. Take care, bye.